What's up? 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 What is up? How are y'all doing today? It is Friday, and y'all know what that means. That means we're gonna have us a good old time tonight. I am your host, Emmanuel Eman Noisette. Want to thank each and every one of y'all for coming out and hanging out with your boy. We have got a lot to talk about. We have got a bunch of CinemaCon updates, things that happen. I won't go through every single one, but I will cover at least most of the things that happened during CinemaCon. John Boyega is coming at certain racist fans again. And then, of course, we got some MCU updates to go through as well. So we will go through all of that. I do apologize. I was a little late today because a lot has been happening today. Y'all know, if anything gets delayed, it's because I'm working for you all. And I'm trying my best not to get too excited because I don't want to disappoint myself. And I don't want to jinx nothing either. Now, I believe in God. I believe God has got everything working. He's working. But when I tell y'all, if I can get this together, if certain pieces can fall in place, guys, I just need what I need from y'all is positive thoughts, prayers, positive energy, whatever you want to throw this way. Because things are happening. So I would strongly encourage that y'all make sure you're following. Make sure you're following. And stay tuned. Stay tuned. When I tell you I work for y'all, okay? When I tell you I do this for y'all, just remember that. Just remember that. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm trying not to get excited. Sorry. Okay. I'm sorry. Let me we're gonna get back. But if y'all just understood, if I could just tell y'all what was happening today, things were cooking. It was sizzling, frying up good. I just needed to actually pan out. So, and if it doesn't pan out, I'll let y'all know what it is. What could have happened. I'll let y'all know. I have to let y'all know next week because maybe it could happen this week. So anyway, I'm gonna stop talking around it. I don't want to get too much. So anyway, just please stay tuned. Please stay tuned. That's all. That's all. All right. Let's see who has made it out tonight. And then we can get started because we got a bunch of stuff to go through. Mary J, thank you so much for making it out. Appreciate you. King Chad, what is up? Good to see that you went to Hollywood at that. Thank you. Paulette, how are you? Good to see you as well. Paul, how you doing? Sam K, appreciate you always coming through. My man Minister Crush is here. Corey, how you doing? There we go. My man Tane is here. Let's go. My man Dex is here as well. Treese, how you doing? Guys, it wouldn't be alive without Ms. Harper. Thank you so much for coming through. We got the homie Tracy here as well. Thank you. We got my man John Robinson here as well. We got the homie Rhonda. Jay, good to see you. DePaul, thank you so much. Talented one, what is going on? Kristen Pratt is here. Thank you so much for holding it down with the Mod Squad. Jam is here. My man Nelson is as well. Mama J is in the building. 60 plus is here. Callow, how you doing? Thank you so much for being here. There we go. My man Lou, thank you so much for hanging out. I got my man Mike is back. Appreciate you coming through. My man Terrence is here as well. Good to see you, sir. Who else did I see? MC, thank you so much for being here. Gothic Chick, I appreciate you always coming through. Who else? I see the homie Diane is here. Thank you so much. Let's see who else has made it in. Got them. Yep. There we go. My man all the way from London. coming through, internationally known Stamina MC. Degenerate is here as well. We got the homie Kiki West. Tyra is here as well. Thank you so much. Akiri, good to see you. My man Andrew is here too. Bost, or formerly known as Bost. Thank you so much for being here. Kristen, thank you so much. Let's see. Rachel, I see you. Rizzo, how you doing? My man Theo is back. Let's see. There you go. My man Ism is here too. Who else did I see? Regina. Oh, Regina. Wait, Regina, is that Regina? Okay. I didn't know if that was high school Regina. Okay, maybe not. I don't know. I might be tripping. Anyway, I know a couple of Reginas. That's the only thing. But Regina, what is up? Good to see you. Let's see. Bad Rob, how you doing? Who else did I see? Tasha, thank you so much for being here. Appreciate you. Who else? I'm gonna try and get the last couple. There we go. Jesus, thank you so much. Appreciate you. My man Raymond is here as well. Eugene, how you doing? And shout out to everyone who has made it out tonight. Guys, I really, really do appreciate y'all so much. All right. Tracy, what you say? Email, you summon us at 7:30, 39 early. So mean. I know. I'm so sorry. Listen, this was not by choice. Y'all know I try to actually get this done, or at least get it started a lot earlier, because I know I can get into the 3-hour range sometimes, and sometimes that can get a little late, but I told you guys I was working. Okay. When you're working for the people, sometimes you don't even think about time at that point, because you're like, nah, I gotta work for the greater cause. I gotta work for the greater good of the people. So yeah, I do apologize. I'm gonna try not to keep y'all up too late though. I'm gonna try my best. Let me say real quick, shout out to Loki. I missed you on Wednesday during our Daredevil live show. Thank you so much, Loki, for the $25 cash app. And oh snaps, hold on, man. My man Terrence, thank you, brother, for the $20 cash app as well. Guys, I really, really do appreciate y'all supporting the channel the way that you do. It really does mean a lot. So thank you so much. And hold on, we got to say what's up real quick to the queen, Mrs. E-Man, right there. How you doing, boo thing? Thank you so much for being here as well. Okay. We have so much to get to. First, let's knock out the bad news first. We lost another one. Val Kilmer has passed away recently, unfortunately. Says here that his daughter Mercedes said that the cause was pneumonia, and he was 65. Man, 65. I'm sorry, that still ain't too old to me. But 65. But he has been battling throat cancer for a number of years. I mean, this sucks. I liked Val Kilmer. Like Val Kilmer as an actor. I really liked him in the early 90s, is where I really got my introduction to him. Was Batman. What was it? Batman Forever? Yeah, Batman Forever. Michael Keaton stepped down, still the GOAT, but Michael Keaton stepped down, didn't want to come back, and Val Kilmer came in. And you know what? I thought he was a very good Batman. Now, Batman Forever was not a good movie, but I do believe that Val Kilmer was as good as you were going to get at that time for a replacement Batman. I thought he did a phenomenal job. Again, movie wasn't great, but he did a better job than Clooney. Because I remember when this was happening, there was a little criticism. People was like, Val Kilmer was cool, but he wasn't as good as Keaton. Okay. But boy, when they saw Clooney, they was like, whoa. And maybe Val Kilmer, maybe we're a little too harsh. Maybe it was a little too much that we put on you, because Val, boy, that George Clooney, but it woke people up. Okay. Because sometimes the grass ain't always greener. But yeah, I mean, Val Kilmer, Top Gun, of course, really started to skyrocket his career. Real Genius, I never saw him in that. Willow, of course. Heat, my goodness, so good in Heat. And the Saint, I feel like was one of his most underrated movies. I loved The Saint when it first came out. Now, when it first came out, it was in the 90s, so I don't remember it as clearly. I do remember loving it. So it is one of those movies that, like, if it ever came back on TV or whatever, then I probably would sit down and rewatch it. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I'll actually just go watch it one of these days when I'm just completely bored and don't have nothing else. But I love The Saint. Thought it was just so good. But yeah, Val Kilmer, rest in peace. Definitely, left his mark in Hollywood, I think. Especially with Top Gun Maverick, of course. We did see him come back in that nice little cameo with Tom Cruise. And of course, of all people, Tom Cruise during CinemaCon did he did have some kind words to say about Val Kilmer's passing. He said here, I'd like to honor a dear friend of mine, Val Kilmer. I can't tell you how much I admire his work, how grateful and honored I was when he joined Top Gun and came back later for Top Gun Maverick. I think it would be really nice if we can have a moment together because he loved movies and gave a lot to all of us. Just kind of think about all the wonderful times we had with him. And he did say, I wish you well on the next journey. So he did conduct that moment of silence for him. And I thought that was really, really good. Really nice and tasteful. And of course, oh my gosh, Tombstone. I'll be your Huckleberry. Come on, man. Like, dude was, man, Val Kilmer, man. I'm serious. Like, this dude was really on point. I don't know. He just really I liked him. He was a good actor. But anyway, guys, what do you think about Val Kilmer, the news of his passing? Like, what were your favorite movies, maybe moments of Val? Whatever you think, feel free to let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and condolences to his friends, family, and fans. Let's see. Rabia, let me know if you're gonna see Freaky Tale. Wait, is that the Too Short thing? I will say right now the answer is leaning no, but if it happens to come across the streaming platform one day, maybe. But I was not looking for Freaky Tales. That was not something I was looking for. I will admit that. But if I do, I'll definitely let you know. Thank you. All right, let's do a couple quick updates on some random movies and stuff. We talked about this a while ago. The Antoine Fuqua was directing the new biopic for Michael, which was going to star his nephew. It had gotten delayed. Y'all remember the news? I want to say it was like the third act or something had a whole trial, one of Michael Jackson's trials, and like it actually violated like some sort of lawsuit settlement agreement with the estate. They just so happened to forget that was a thing, so they had to go back and reshoot like the whole third act or whatever of this movie. So but now, in addition to them reshooting it or whatever, now they also are going to split this into two parts. So the Michael movie is now being planned to be released in two parts, and this also means that it is unlikely to come out October 25, which is, it was going to come out this year. Now I was interested in what they were going to do. I still need a trailer, right? Like, we've seen so many Michael Jackson documentaries, biopics, movies, etc. Shout out to the VH1, Jackson 5, that one to me still feels like the definitive Jackson 5 Michael Jackson story. And we will not talk about Flex at all. But 2 parts, this feels like a lot. Like what I know Michael Jackson is a huge star. I know we know a lot about his life, but 2 parts? I'm starting to wonder if maybe y'all should just turn this into maybe a streaming thing and break it up into episodes or something. Maybe that would be better. I don't know. I don't know if y'all gonna get me in theaters for 2 parts. Because again, we know the story. We know most of the story. Where are you going to cut this off? Are we going to have, the first part be Dark Mike and the second part be Light Mike? Like, is that what we doing? I don't know. I'm just saying, where's the cutoff? Because that's important. Wherever you cut off the first movie, that is going to be the hook for the second part. So if there's not a good hook, it's not going to work. So I don't know. Y'all let me know. How do you feel about this Michael movie being cut up into 2 parts? No pun intended. By the way, we have news about a Tarantino thing. Now, in case you missed it, Tarantino did Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I think that was like in 2019 or something like that. It was cool. I liked it. It wasn't bad at all. Starring Brad Pitt, Leo, DiCaprio, Margot Robbie. It was a cool little film. But it seems like that ain't gonna be all, because there is a sequel now for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. It is in the works, and it's going to Netflix. Now, here's the kicker. David Fincher is set to direct this. And Tarantino, he already wrote the script. First of all, I'm a huge fan of Tarantino. So the fact that he wrote the script, I'm here. But you mean to tell me David Fincher is tag teaming right back with Brad Pitt? Ooh. Do y'all remember this? 7? Fight Club? What? Whatever you want. You have my attention. When you look at David Fincher's resume, there is no question that this man knows what he's doing. Now, some of the reports have said that Leo may not come back, Margot may not come back. This is primarily going to focus on Brad Pitt's character, the stuntman or whatever. So if they come back, I don't know, maybe not, but I don't care. Brad Pitt and David Fincher, to me, is always a winning combo. So I'm here for it. I love it. I like it. I'm here for it. You got a lot of good things. Now, I will say, I was not very interested in the story of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. That I did not care. I went because it was a Tarantino film, and I'm a fan of Tarantino. The story I could care less about. The story of Brad Pitt's character I could care less about. But you got a great cast and a great crew. It's hard for me to pass that up. So I'm interested, but what do you guys think? Are you looking forward to a Tarantino written, David Fincher directed, and Brad Pitt starring sequel to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood? Let me know in the comments down below. We got a new movie coming out by a familiar guy. Y'all might know him. I don't know. Maybe, might have heard of him. But Zack Snyder, he's back. But no superheroes involved. Zack Snyder is set to direct a UFC movie. Dana White is going to produce with the UFC. I don't know who, Turkey Alash. I'm not going to pronounce that. They're also producing. Now, this follows a young fighter from the rough streets of LA to get a shot at a UFC championship. Okay. Like, didn't Tom Hardy already do this with Warrior? Like, Did like hasn't this story been told before? Now I don't know who this UFC fighter is. I'm just saying I don't see or hear anything compelling except for Zack Snyder's involved. Now, I know a couple things are going to be guaranteed here. You got Zack Snyder. He's going to give you some action. Okay, there's no doubt about that. There's going to be some fight scenes. This man is going to make that happen. You also are going to get guaranteed hella slow motion. Get ready for them slow motion spinning back elbows. Okay, them tiger knees, boy, he gonna have a running head start. He gonna run up in the air. It's gonna be a 5-second delay, and then pow, knee straight to the face. Yes, 300 style. And maybe, no, that's it. Just most slow-mos. That's all. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what else to look forward to on this. Like I said, I think he will get the action right. I think the visuals will be cool, but the story feels kind of done already, right? So I don't know. I don't know. Is this something that has got y'all excited? Maybe y'all are some UFC fans, and maybe this is sparking your interest. Personally, I feel like I've heard this already, so I can't get excited over it. Maybe a trailer will be decent. I don't know. But you guys let me know, what do you think about Zack Snyder doing a UFC movie? Is this something that has got you going, or are you just going to be like, nah, I'm good? Whatever you think, let me know in the comments down below. All right, we have got, so it's CinemaCon, right? While CinemaCon is happening, guys, this is where, in case you don't know, CinemaCon is basically where the studios and the theaters, they have their own little fan fest or whatever. It's like their own Comic-Con convention, but for those two entities. And what's interesting here is that I don't think that they're beefing, but at the same time, there is a little friction, right? And this friction usually, and let's just be honest, it's always going to come at the it's always going to be due to money. Always, right? The studio wants to keep every penny that they can get. At the same time, the studios can't do everything. They need the theaters, and the theaters are like, hey, you're gonna have to break me off some of that bread too. And there's always this struggle that has happened. Now, we've talked about this as well, how ever since the pandemic, the movie industry as a whole has shifted, right? That has been the case in terms of the release windows, things going to streaming, the quality of the films that actually make it to theaters. All of that has shifted over time, and this has started to become a struggle for both the theaters and the studios in terms of like, yo, what do we prioritize? What do we put out there? What are we doing? So anyway, we have some beef here, and we got the CEO from AMC, and he's going at the studio. He's going at the studios, and he's talking about like he's got a little advice for them. He's trying to convince them to change up a certain policy that I think we've all talked about here. And he said here, I have at least 3 of the 6 major studios who are in complete agreement that we need to bring back the 45-day window. And that is a good start. He said, now, if you look at every studio except for Disney, the window is 18 to 36 days. For Disney, the window is 60 days. So good for Disney. He goes on to say, we have started conversations with almost every major studio so far. We haven't gotten to everybody yet. It can't be 32 days. It can't be 25, 28, because it's robbing movie theaters of movie goers. Now, I will say in this case, he's right. The shortened day, the shortened window has absolutely affected the earning potential of movies, right? And I've told y'all this before. You can't sit a movie in the theaters for only like 3 weeks. We need to at least get 2-3 paychecks going. Let me pay my rent. Let me pay my utilities. Then let me go out there and then I'll go treat myself to a movie. Everybody is not like me. They're not like some of y'all out here that are going to go watch a movie the moment it comes out. That's for hardcore moviegoers. That is not the average person, especially when they can barely afford the price of eggs. So yes, keeping that window open, you know what that also does? That's more $5 Tuesdays, right? That's more opportunities, because if you miss the first 2 $5 Tuesdays or whatever promotional days, what's your motivation to go see the movie? And then even when that movie goes to streaming, how are you going to have the attention span to remember that movie is on streaming when the second you turn on one of 10 streaming platforms, it's 50 million different options? So you could have been like, yeah, I want to go see that blah, blah, blah movie. And then all of a sudden, life starts lifing. You forget it's on HBO, but then you didn't subscribe to HBO because you still subscribe to Apple because you forgot to cancel your subscription to Peacock and to turn up. It's too much. It's too much. So I agree here. I think that now personally, I still think 45 days is still too long, too short. I like the 60 days. I think that maybe if your movie is like terrible, if you are Madam Webbing it out there, if you're kind of craving it out there, yes, take your butt straight to streaming in 30 days. If a movie, it's almost like in football, or high school football, I should say. For those of y'all that ever played high school football or watched high school football, when the lead is like ridiculous, when it looks like you already finna lose and it's only the first quarter, what do they do after halftime? They just let that clock run. They like, nah, we're gonna put you out your misery. We're not gonna even I don't care if you call a timeout. Let that clock run. That's what you do with a movie that's failing, right? If it's failing, put it on streaming. That's okay. Venom 3, take your butt to streaming. But if it's something that just needs some time, if it's something that has some word of mouth, a little traction going, let it do what it do, right? So anyway, that's the theater side, right? The theater is like, yo, y'all need to keep those windows open, keep those movies in there. Now, this does make sense for the theaters. I've told y'all, when it comes to the breakdown of the money, the theaters and the studios, they share that money, right? So, but the thing is, the longer a movie is in the theaters, the more the theater starts to earn a bigger cut. So yeah, of course the theaters want an open a bigger window because they stand to make more money, the longer it's out there. But that ain't all, because the studios got something too. They got a little fire for the theaters too. So Paramount, they got some advice for the theaters, and they said, hold on, why don't you limit the amount of trailers y'all be playing? How about stop playing ads during the before the movie? I don't know. Increase the window, since we're talking about windows, of the matinee price all the way to 6 p.m. And how about you discount tickets on multiple weekdays? I mean, this coming from the studio? Don't sound too bad to me. Listen, I'm sitting here like, man, I don't know what side, but studio making a good old side argument right now. What? Who watches trailers for 40-something minutes in the theater? I hate that. I hate that. We have the internet, okay? I'm just saying, we have the internet. If I come to the movie at 7 o'clock There's no reason why the movie shouldn't start at like 7:05, 7:10. Why are you starting the movie at 7:35? Why? You said the movie started at 7 o'clock. That's what it said. It says showtime, not ad time. Showtime is at 7 o'clock. Why is it at 7:30? I didn't come for that. And then them ads, I have never seen them ads work on me ever. I don't know about y'all, but Nicole Kidman is not making me do squat. You're not convincing me to do nothing. What are you even advertising? Like, the ads don't even make sense. Why are you playing an ad about coming to the movie theaters when you're already in the movie theater? What? I don't understand it. I'm saying it'd be different now. Let's go back old school now. Let's go back old school. It's different if, as a theater, you're like, hey, guess what we got? Ooh, look at this fresh hot pizza. Ooh, we got this ice cold pop. You know, we got some fresh candy out there. That's different. That makes sense because y'all make money off of the food and I'm fat. I'm going to want some food. I am easily manipulated. But what you trying to advertise Nicole Kidman for? I don't need her. I ain't checking for her. She ain't finna tell me nothing different. Tantalize my appetite. Okay? Tell me about your new popcorn flavors. That's what you should advertise if you're going to advertise anything at all. Oh, and discount. Oh, but hold on. They were spitting with this. Increase the matinee price until 6 p.m. Ooh, y'all know back in the day, the matinee it stopped at 12 o'clock. I was like, who is this matinee for? It's got to be just for the senior citizens that are retired and they don't care about sitting with other people and stuff, and they want to see things at the crack of dawn. I was like, who the heck watches movies at the crack of dawn like that? But yeah, if you could let me watch a movie at 5 o'clock, you know, or whatever, like right off of work, and I can go see it a little early, I would absolutely watch that for a matinee price. That'd be amazing. Save the later stuff for the date nights, the couples and stuff like that. I love that idea. And more discounted multiple weekdays? Absolutely. Absolutely. Give me more $5 Tuesdays. Bring back the student discount days on Thursday. You know, like, dude, listen, you know, I'm learning life lessons every day. I'm a student of life. Let me in for $6. I'll take that. Man, and these studios, yeah, that was a hard clapback. That was a hard clapback. They was like, oh, you talking about these windows. Why don't you talk about these prices? Why don't you talk about these prices? How about that? I like it. I like it. Anyway, guys, what do you think about the increase of the windows for the movies staying in theaters versus all the recommendations from the studios on what they could do about pricing, ads, and trailers and all that? Guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. All right, we have, oh boy. So Chronicles of Narnia. In case you have, read the books, watched the movies, I think there was even a TV show or whatever. This was made by C.S. Lewis, prolific author. Love C.S. Lewis. I read a couple of his books back to back multiple times. But Chronicle of Narnia has always been one of those, probably one of his more well-known properties, given all the adaptations. And, in case you did not know, it's very fairy tale-ish, I wouldn't say Lord of the Rings, but it does have that fantasy element to it. And the thing is, one of the main characters, Aslan, who is portrayed as a lion, he's usually an allegory for the character of Jesus Christ. Now, C.S. Lewis was a Christian, so he used this fantasy story basically to kind of tell an allegorical, tale of Jesus. So, the rumor here is that, well, it's not a rumor. Greta Gerwig, same director who just gave us Barbie, she is now going to make the new Narnia movie, right? And because she's doing this, there's a rumor about who she wants to get to play or voice Aslan. Again, very prominent character. And here is the prime candidate via this rumor. None other than Meryl Streep. It says here an offer has been made to Meryl Streep to portray a central character in the series, Aslan, the Great Lion. Streep is in talks to portray Aslan, who will be female in the series. Oh boy. I wonder who could possibly have an issue with this? I thought y'all was tired of DEI. I thought y'all didn't want to cater to the woke agenda. The woke agenda. I mean, for the most part, I don't care. I'm not tripping over some fantasy lion in the first place. At the same time, this feels unnecessary given the fact that the character not only has typically been male, but the character was portrayed to be allegorical for a historical male figure as well. Not just any old male figure, it just happens to be the focal point of like one of the world's major religions. So this feels like you're doing a little too much, and I'm all here for the female empowerment and all that. I'm just saying, like, this seems like an unnecessary move that I don't see that many great benefits coming back. You had so many options. But okay, now was this a movie I was like dead ready to go see? Nah, I wasn't. This was not high on my list anyway. But this is a decision. It is a choice. But y'all let me know. I mean, this is a rumor for now. What do y'all think about Meryl Streep voicing Aslan, the lion, in Chronicles of Narnia? Good move, bad move, unnecessary. Maybe it's innovative. I don't know. Whatever you think, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. I have Michael, what you got? No matinee, please. Had a whole baby crying in the middle of Endgame. Had everybody upset. Bumped them kids. Woo, I'm sorry to hear that. Ooh, man. I mean, I don't think I've really had. Actually, I could see that. I could see a mom with kids probably doesn't have time to go out, going to the matinee. I could see that. Yeah, because I mean, sometimes my wife takes our girls to the theaters, like, on a matinee time. So I could see that. I could see, and I'm definitely not. I mean, even when our kids were young, we had the personal responsibility, or at least I thought it was, to make sure not to disturb other people. Like, oh, the baby's crying. Okay, let me take her, out, because I'm not going to let them ruin everybody else's experience. Or we just don't go see the movie. We just have to wait. Like, it was just a necessary sacrifice. But yes, I feel you. Let's see. Kat, what you got? Did you watch Final Destination trailer? If you did, what are your thoughts? So I would direct you to the last live. Go to the last live. I did watch the teaser. I don't know if I think I put the timestamps on that one. So yeah, go watch the last live that I did last week. And you can see my reaction right there. You yes, you will see the reaction right there. Thank you so much. JN, thoughts on Greta as a director? She's a good director. I like her as a director. I thought she did a good job with Barbie, even though I had a couple issues with Barbie. But yeah, I'm not mad at her, at her skill set. I think she's solid. But yeah, I mean, this decision, if this is her decision, ah, it's a very bold one. It's very bold. All right, let's move on. We got Stephen King, usually given his prolific writing record, he has had a number of his books and stories adapted for the big screen or on television. Of course, some of the famous ones are like or The Shining, things like that. But and I have not read every Stephen King book or anything, but I've probably seen most of the adaptations. But this is one that is coming that I don't know if there has been an adaptation, or if it has, I haven't seen it. But this is something new to me. So maybe Kiki, you here? I think you are. Maybe my book readers will know about this. The Long Walk or something. So apparently, The Long Walk, it looks like this is going to be something on the calendar for September 12th. That Lionsgate is going to make this for this year. So it says that this movie is different. It's not like a jump scare movie, but it's a dystopian horror movie from the Hunger Games guy, Francis Lawrence. Let's see. It says here The Long Walk takes place in the future in which 100 teenage boys embark on an annual competition known as the Long Walk. The rules are simple: maintain a speed above 4 miles per hour, receive 3 warnings in an hour, and you're shot dead. Oh my gosh. Okay. The last one walking gets whatever he wants for the rest of his life. Under these grim circumstances, the boys develop deep friendships despite knowing that each of their friends' survival is a threat to their own. Oh my. Oh my. And it looks like Mark Hamill is going to be a part of this as well. Okay. I guess he's the guy that's like the moderator or the race conductor or whatever. That's a different story. 100 people. Y'all just finna be killing folks. I mean, this really sounds like an American Squid Game. That's what it sounds like. First of all, walking 4 miles per hour. Is that like a power walk? I don't know what the speed is, but it sounds like a power walk. I would get tired. I'm dying. I'm not gonna make it. The way my heels be sometimes, my knee issues. Be like, guys, it was a good run. Now, the alternative is you could just be a villain. Might be tripping some folks. Might even tackle some folks. All depends. Do you want to be the good guy or the last guy? I don't know. But interesting. Listen, I do like interesting concepts. So I do like that they're going there with this. Oh, and that other dude is there. David Johnson, the black kid from Alien, the last Alien movie. Romulus or whatnot. So I like him. He's a good actor. So okay, you got my attention. Let's see a trailer. I want to see what they do. I think they said that there was actually, like, when they were shooting, I think it was actually like 10, 12 miles that they had to shoot the whole time. So I'm interested how they do this and how they make this work. Very, very curious. So y'all let me know, what do you think in the comments down below. Oh boy. All right. As you all know, we've had some Spider-Man movies. We've had some Venom movies. I have not been shy about my thoughts and opinion about the Venom franchise. I think it's terrible. Spider-Man obviously doing their thing. They're doing the right thing, right? Now I've also said one of the biggest fumbles with the Venom franchise is how they started off on the wrong path. You didn't start, you gave him a completely different origin story. You did this whole buddy buddy type of thing. You made Venom corny. And that to me is exactly why Venom could not continue the trajectory of success that it thought it was going to have after the first movie. All it did was just get wackier, cornier, and that's not Venom. There are wacky, kooky characters that you can do that with, but that's not Venom. But Tom Hardy, who has been the spearhead for, I would argue, the downfall of Venom, has commented on the potential of Venom and Spider-Man clashing on screen. He has advocated for that for a long time, but now he's weighing in on why that has never happened. So, in this interview, when he was asked, like, was it studio politics? Like, what happened? He said, I don't know how to answer that question. We got close. We got as close as I could possibly imagine getting, apart from doing a film together, which I would have loved to have done, because that just means so much fun. First red flag. And for all the reasons that you explained ultimately in there about the politics. And he said, fundamentally for me, it would be for the kids. Okay. Because as much as adults love superhero films, as you can tell by the box office when they're successful, I think I'm constantly reminded by children how important these characters are, and they don't know why their favorite characters aren't in films together. I think they don't know why, because for one, and let's just kind of break this down real quick. It starts with, do you even know what's up with the character? And I don't believe, based off of what we've seen, that Tom Hardy really understands what makes Venom work. Every film after the first one, they were given, I wouldn't say more freedom, but more creative control. And it only got worse. That to me lets me know you don't know what you're doing, and you don't know what's going on with this character, and you also don't know what makes this character popular. You can talk about what you like with the character, you can talk about what you want with the character, but that doesn't mean that that is what resonates, nor does that mean that that's what's going to be executed properly either. Because once you start going in a different direction, you open up a whole can of worms on whether or not it's going to work for others or not. The biggest miss, and I've said this multiple times, is the mere fact that you started this Venom off on this path of corniness, and it's beyond me why you would even think putting Venom and Spider-Man on the big screen at this point would even make sense. And this is why I'm glad and I'm hopeful that this is the last we see of Tom Hardy's Venom under this control. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm okay with Tom Hardy, the actor, portraying Venom. I'm not okay with the direction he took the character. So, what I mean by that is, if, let's say, a reboot happened, or if a reset of some sort happened, and all of a sudden, this Eddie Brock meets up with this Tom Holland Spider-Man, and he hates him. I mean, he really, really hates him. And the symbiote really, really hates Spider-Man. And that hatred comes together in a beautiful union of pure loathsome anger. And listen, I need on-site violence. I need Venom to terrorize Spider-Man. I need Venom to eat, sleep, and just drink pure haterade of Spider-Man. And if you don't understand that, then you don't understand Venom, because that is what propelled him to fame. That being Spider-Man's one of his greatest nemesis, that is what actually made Venom popular. Not being corny, not having some buddy relationship with Eddie. That's stupid. And I hope that Sony has realized that based off of the box office. So again, and think about it like this. When you talk about a versus, when you talk about a matchup, putting two characters together to head off against each other, you have to have some sort of beef. You got to have some sort of friction. There is no friction with a corny ass, looking Venom and a Spider-Man that's just who's broke and trying to make his way through college. What are we talking about? Like, have y'all learned nothing from wrestling? Have you learned nothing from sports entertainment? Like, nobody is trying to be like, hey, let's fight because we have this friendly misunderstanding, and right after that fight, because we're so nice and corny, we'll be friends after. Like, get out of here with that. So, you know what? I am glad that the politics or whatever it was, I think it was an act of God, because it had to be divine intervention to stop the railroad of madness that Venom was trying to do and put that nasty mojo on Spider-Man. Get out of here. Go away, please. So I am glad that did not happen. I'm hopeful that at some point, because of course they're gonna try and do a Venom, or I'm sorry, they're gonna give Spider-Man the black suit. I'm more than positive he's getting the black suit, whether it's in Secret Wars or something. He's gonna get the black suit, and maybe they'll get back to basics. Maybe Marvel will be like, okay, maybe we should actually do the Venom thing right this time. But I am glad that Tom Hardy is not getting his way. He does not know what he's talking about. The fact that you looking at kids, first of all, what kids was looking up? Venom is not a role model. Venom is not something for the kid. Why are you letting them watch Venom? If they little kids shouldn't be watching Venom. That ain't somebody to look up to, So anyway, what do y'all think about this potential of Venom meeting Spidey? Is this something that you would have wanted to happen? Did you want Tom Hardy and Tom Holland Spider-Man to match up, or are you kind of relieved that it didn't happen? Whatever you think, let me know in the comments. Mike, you are not a superhero. Exactly. Like, I don't know why Sony just did not understand this. You cannot take a traditionally villainous villain and just be like, oh, here's an anti-hero for y'all. No, even anti-heroes don't work if you're trying to make that conversion. You have to show us that path to becoming an anti-hero first. That's how the comics be giving y'all all the answers. Like, I swear, Sony be having an open book test with all the answer sheet is right there. You don't even have to read. Just The answers are right there in the comics, and y'all still fail. It makes no sense. Ah, thanks, Mike. Appreciate you. Oh boy. Let's make a quick shift over to DC. Let's talk about Superman. For a while now. Now I did try to watch I didn't even want to, because y'all know I don't like watching trailers. I feel like trailers, I've told y'all my golden rule: watch the first trailer. Watch the first trailer or the first teaser, and if it convinces you to watch the movie, do not watch anything else. There's no need. There literally is no additional benefit to watching anything beyond the first teaser or trailer if you are fully convinced to go watch the movie. There's no need. So recently, they dropped at CinemaCon. James Gunn decided to drop an extended preview of Superman. Personally, I think that is maybe even a yellow flag. Kind of it might be orange. I wouldn't say red, but it might be orange. Why do you feel the need to take a name as commercial and mainstream and popular as Superman and show me more of your footage? It feels like some sort of overcompensation. It feels like you nervous. You don't need to show. If you just say, "Hey y'all, we got a Superman movie coming out," people will just be like, "Oh, Superman? Oh, okay. Sure. Superman? Sure." It's a couple names that you can just say, and people don't need to know or even see a trailer. Superman, Spider-Man, maybe even the Hulk, maybe even Wonder Woman. Like those names right there, you don't need to over advertise. So it's already a little sketchy. It's a little shaky that you showing an extended preview with that. And we talked about this as well. Oh, there's so many pre-haters out there. And y'all know who y'all are. A lot of them are the Snyderites out there, the ones who can't let go of anything Zack Snyder ever made because that's the only thing that matters to them. It's the only thing that ever will count. The people that can't let go of the Snyderverse. The people that and some of y'all, Cavaliers, some of y'all Henry Cavaliers out there, y'all, some of y'all guilty too. Y'all have not let this man fly 2 inches yet before you done tore up this boy David Corenswet. He can't even be Superman yet before people are just, "Oh, this movie's gonna be trash. It's gonna be so bad." It's like, yo, why can't we like? And here's the thing: I'm not even like pro James Gunn, pro DC. I'm pro superhero movie, first of all. But I'm like, can we at least see the movie? Because I'm just like, if the movie sucks, tear it down. Give it the proper criticism that it deserves. But if the movie's actually good, let it be good. And let me just give just a quick thing for the Snyderites out there. This is free advice. Because let's be honest for a second. You guys are not out there just trying to have your opinion be heard. That's not the point. Because everyone is entitled to like or dislike whatever you wish, right? That is your right. But there is a hidden agenda. And the hidden agenda is some of y'all go out of your way to be anti anything that's not Zack Snyder-esque because you really want to convert other people. You really want your disdain to infect other people. Let's be honest. That is the only reason. Because there are a lot of things that I don't like, but I also do not go out of my way to go posting about it, to go making videos about it, so that I can convince other people to join my tribe of haters, and so we could drink all that hateration. Like, we're not doing that. So if your real goal, whether you want to admit it or not, is to convince people to join your gang of hating anything non-Zack Snyder-ish, be quiet. Be quiet. This is my advice. Be quiet. Stop posting all this pre-negative stuff. Stop criticizing the uniform. Stop criticizing, oh, he doesn't have abs on his chest. Stop. Just stop. Okay, now listen, I'm still trying to give you advice. I'm not telling you to suppress your feelings. I'm telling you to stop, because the more you whine and complain and try to point out and nitpick negative things, the more you start to sound like white noise, and the quicker people will tune you out. However, if you learn how to be quiet, and if you learn how to pick and choose strategically things that are, I would say, the majority of people actually don't like, now you can amplify your message a whole lot more. You see how I'm trying to help y'all? I don't agree with y'all, but I'm trying to help y'all, okay? Because if all you do is complain, people going to tune you out. They're going to tune you out. But if you figure out, hey, look at that. The movie, I don't know, let's say the movie comes out and it's rotten, right? Fans don't like it. Now y'all jump on it. Now you can emphasize your point. Now you can be more effective with your messaging. But I say all of this because even this news that I'm about to share with y'all, I can't even take it seriously, because the Snyderites have infiltrated the internet so much with their pre-hate, I don't know what to take seriously anymore. So anyway, let's get to this supposed rumor here. And it has something to do with the story of Superman. It says here, early reports suggest Superman would be involved in the Middle Eastern conflict. Set photos tease the mysterious new villain, and the first poster featured a strange floating orb. Okay. Now, what is the plot of Superman? Now, Scooper, my time to shine. Hello. Now, huge grain of salt. Huge grain of salt right there. Reveals that fans can't piece together Superman's plot because there is no plot. Rather, James Gunn has strung together a series of vignettes attempting to adapt the 12 labors of Superman into the brand new DC universe. They say here the Superman movie is very much like All-Star Superman. No real central plot, just Lex Luthor scheming in different ways to kill Superman or to get him locked up. A kaiju, a black hole in the sky, a conflict between nations, a clone. He throws everything at him. He also turns the public against Superman and gets him arrested. All right. So, first of all, huge grain of salt, once again. Second of all, I was not a fan of All-Star Superman. I did not like it. I didn't care for it. It did not feel it was something that it was pretty forgettable for me. They made an animated version of it, in case you were wondering. So I didn't care for that story. And again, I would rather wait and watch the movie. Let me watch the movie, because why is this even a story? Why is this even being pushed that there is no plot? Now, personally, I do believe that James Gunn is a better writer than to give us something that quote unquote has no plot, because maybe it's not the plot you wanted. Maybe it's not the plot that you were thinking of. Maybe, it's something completely different. We don't know. So that's why I do have to wait and see the actual movie. Maybe they're right. Maybe they're not. But all this talk, all this pre-negativity, I'm just like, I was hearing rumors about all the test screenings were so bad and people walked out. And I'm like, you sure? Or was it just like that one person that still walked in with the Henry Cavill shirt? And like, I'm just saying, y'all have created a system of distrust now that I at this point, when you guys were against just the announcement of James Gunn coming in, I can't even trust half of y'all leakers or scoopers. I can't trust some of these outlets that conveniently like to post more negative news about Superman. So I'm just gonna wait. I'm just gonna wait. And if it does have no plot, okay, then that's a criticism we will have after the movie comes out. That's all. Let things fail on their own. Let things succeed on their own. It'll be a lot better to help your arguments later. But anyway, what do y'all think about this supposed rumor? Do you think that this movie has no plot? Is that going to affect how you approach this film? You guys let me know what you think. Where is it? Hold on. I had something else. Where is it? Oh, okay. Something else. Hold on. A little more Superman news. There it is. Now, again, I told y'all, stop all the pre-hate. But we got David Cornsweet, the current Superman. And he said here, he praised those who've brought Superman adaptations to life in the past, allowing him to ride a path already paved with greatness. Would you look at that? Would you look at that? This man is honoring the legacy of the position that he is now in as Superman, honoring the past actors. Would you look at that? This man is showing some love for y'all boy Henry Cavill. Where y'all Cavaliers at? He is showing him some love. He's showing all of them, even the GOAT, Christopher Reeve. They're showing all of them. He's showing all of them love. But some of y'all are still going to fix y'all faces to be all ugly and mean and he's not Henry Cavill. I wish DC would get bought out by Zack Snyder. Yeah, if only Henry Cavill would come back, Zack Snyder would write that ship. Yes, he would. Stop. Why don't y'all just go buy the DVD bundle of the Snyderverse? Go buy that 4K Blu-ray and blast that sucker 24 hours at your house. Just do that. Let other people live. Anyway, what do y'all think about what Cornsweet had to say about the rumor? Whatever you think, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. JN, let's be real, the Snyder Cut wasn't good. And I don't like this conversation because people will ignore the context. When you say it's not good, it depends in relation to what. Was the Snyder Cut better than the original theatrical version? Absolutely. Right? We know that the original version had studio interference and all that other nonsense. Whatever. It was terrible. What we got in theaters was a mess. Was the Snyder Cut better than that? Yes. Is it actually good? That's subjective. Now, I know we got a couple folks in here, they're going to swear by it, and that's okay. I would argue that the real proof in the pudding is going to be, what did that box office say? What did them ratings say? And if people did not continue to turn out, that probably is enough of an indication that it wasn't good enough. Being good for you personally does not make a movie or a cinematic universe good enough for everybody. So that's where this conversation gets tricky, because if you ask people individually, did you think it was good? Sure. You got people that will swear this was the best thing ever in comic book history. But when you take a step outside that individual and you look at the grander picture of the people that consume it, it ain't living up to the potential that it should have had. So there's that. What you got? Mike, thank you so much, brother. I learned to give it a chance after I heard Twilight was about to be the new Batman. And was like, oh hell, and it wasn't bad though. Yes, you talking about Robert Pattinson. So yeah, I mean, that's the thing, right? A lot of times, and this isn't a slight towards you or nothing, because I'm guilty of it too. It's harder for us to always envision when someone new steps into a role. Sometimes, the more you watch people, the more you know their ability, you will know, oh yeah, this person can step into this role, they can do this, it's gonna work. Sometimes if you're not familiar with that person, you could be like, man, I don't know, I don't like it, or I saw this one movie and I don't think he could do it. But that's the thing. At the end of the day, sometimes we do just have to give it a chance, and this is why I say give it a chance. It might be good, or just let it fail. If it doesn't work, okay, it doesn't work. We let them know with our dollars, we let them know with our words online, and that's it. But giving it a chance is not a bad thing. So I like that. Okay, Larry, what you got, man? Yo, E-Man, great to see you live. Proud Snyder bro here, but very excited, enthusiastic about the new Superman. I just think the marketing has been sus. A teaser for a teaser, no real trailer, 5 minutes of footage. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Like I've said very similar things. Like, now, part of this, I think, is also because James Gunn, from what I heard anyway, he's in charge of all of this. He's in charge of the trailers. He's in charge of this stuff. So this is where maybe we're starting to see some of the inexperience of James Gunn as an executive, right? I think he is a great director. I like his writing. I just think that as an executive, this might be where we're starting to see some of the chinks in the armor where, yeah, man, maybe you're overselling this a little too much. Again, this is Superman. Superman doesn't need help, right? Well, I guess he does with his dog Crypto. So I totally hear you on that. I think the marketing absolutely is suspect, for sure. Larry, again, thank you so much, man. You're spot on about Venom. Only worst adaptation was Carnage. Oh my gosh. Even with Woody involved, weak sauce, make SE. Oh my gosh. Maximum Carnage on Super Nintendo. Yes. Do Venom right for once. Yes. Yeah, Carnage was a disaster. Like, Carnage should have been, I mean, if you already starting Venom wrong, then you definitely gonna have Carnage wrong. Like, it was going downhill from the very beginning. So yes. Oh God, I try to forget about that whole Carnage nonsense. Shogun, what you got? For some reason, that dog jumping on Superman gave me a bad feeling, like the movie is subconsciously beating up Superman. It might. I mean, James Gunn does like that mode of storytelling where you see the hero going up against adversity, getting beat up and beat down, but that's usually a setup so that way the character can build themselves up later and then, become the hero that we know them to be. So that could just be part of the storytelling. JN, Cavill was eyed as Superman, wasn't all world. I mean, listen, I know I give the Cavaliers a little, pushback here. I liked Henry Cavill as Superman. I just didn't like the stories and the direction he was given. The guy looks like Superman. He looks the part. But my goodness, it's just the direction, the writing, that did not work for me. But I have zero issue with Henry Cavill as Superman. I don't think the story or the universe did him justice. I think they hurt him. Larry, again, thank you so much. I get that it's subjective, that I love the Snyder Cut. I just fear objectively that WB is reactionary, their MO for decades, and they think Snyderverse was too much for adults, so this will totally be geared towards kids. Yes, I think that yes. So first of all, they have been reactive. It was one of the reasons why the studio interfered in the first place and just ridiculously messed up whatever Snyder originally was going to do. But to an extent, the studio should be reactive. We like it, I think, when studios learn from their mistakes. I want Marvel to be reactive to their own BS. When phase 4 was not working, they were reactive and they were self-aware to be like, ooh, we got to change stuff up. So being reactive is not bad if you have, I don't know, some wisdom as to what you actually need to react to and why you need to react to it. WB reacted to Marvel and tried to do what Marvel was doing when they didn't have to. Marvel was already playing from behind, didn't have all their characters. WB could have done whatever they wanted, and they tried to lighten up their tone, and it was stupid. It was bad decision making. But I do think that Superman, if you think about it, does not need to be dark. Being Superman is a universal superhero. Now, does Superman have dark stories? Sure. As an adult who grew up with comics and all that stuff, would I appreciate darker stories? Sure. But I'm not going to be mad if, let's say, we keep Superman PG or at most PG-13, because I understand Superman is a catch-all character. Superman is a character that really is there to not only delight those adults, but to also inspire those young children. That's what Superman is. He is the pedestal. I mean, he is the marker for what superheroes are supposed to be. That's why he was created. So I'm not mad at that, that they want to maybe go with a more general appeal for Superman. Now, if you start talking about Batman, you know what I'm saying? Batman ain't really for the kids. Matter of fact, Batman routinely says FTK, so that's where you can get a little bit darker, a little bit different. But I think Superman, he should be that open hero for everybody. And if they want to go general with it, I understand. I'm not mad at that. All right. Who we got in here? We got folks in. Okay. I just want to see who's finna get mad or not. Thank you for that, Larry. I appreciate you. It's time. Let's talk about this. Guys, stop me if you've heard this before. Star Wars fans, some of them are acting toxic. Some of them are acting bigoted. Some of them have been racist. This has been something that has plagued the fandom for almost over a decade. So, we have a long history of minority actors stepping into Star Wars and being confronted with some form of sexism, racism, or bigotry altogether. Okay? Whether it's Kelly Marie Tran, Moses Ingram, or in this case, John Boyega. So every time this happens, it makes news. And something else happens whenever this makes news, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. But John Boyega has been very vocal about the level of backlash that came about due to his character in Star Wars, Finn. Now, there is plenty of criticism that can be levied fairly against the portrayal of Finn, what they did with his character. We don't have to dissect that because there are a lot of things we agree. He was wasted. He was, underserved as a character. Now, they did this with other characters too. But yeah, we know that. We know that. But that has not stopped certain fans within the fandom from acting outside of themselves, right? So let's talk about what happened with John Boyega. Recently, he was part of a documentary, First Call, I believe. It was called Number One on the Call Sheet, Black Leading Men in Hollywood. And, it had Denzel in there and John Boyega's on there. And one of the things John Boyega talked about, because this was just part of the subject, was the racism that he encountered when he started to play the role, right? So it says here, this is what he said during the documentary. Let me tell you, Star Wars always had the vibe of being in the most whitest elite space. It's a franchise that's so white that a black person even existing in it was something. Now let's break that down real quick. You have to understand, Star Wars came about in the late 70s, early 80s. There was no DEI going on at that time. That was not the focus. Okay, Billy D. Williams was the closest you was going to get to a black person existing in this whole galaxy full of aliens and people and everything. That was the closest you was going to get to a black person with a speaking role in Star Wars. So what John Boyega is referring to is you had a long history of multiple movies where white characters were the center or the leads, right? Now, again, no one is saying that it is a problem for white people to be the lead or to be the center of a story. What his argument is that when Star Wars they just tried to include a person of color, a black person, or even a woman, for example, oh my gosh, some people started to lose their minds and it became a bigger deal. It really shouldn't, because we are in a galaxy far, far away. It is straight up fiction, but you still had some of that nonsense going on. So this is what he was talking about, right? He's talking about how you had this long trajectory, this long history of whiteness. And the moment you even tried to put a black person as a co-lead, just a co-lead, people had to feel some type of way. He's going on to say here, you can always tell it's something when some Star Wars fans try to say, well, we had Lando and we had Sam Jackson. And he says, it's like telling me how many cookie chips are in the cookie dough. It's like, yeah, they're just scattered in there, bro. And he's absolutely right. Because what he's referring to is this bare minimum level of, I would say, well, no, I'll say this. It's the bare minimum level of diversity, right? So, in other words, Star Wars might have been ahead of their time back in the late 70s to even have Lando, in there. It probably, George Lucas, shout out to George Lucas. He might have been ahead of his time putting Sam Jackson in there. However, he didn't make them no leads. He let them be supporting characters with minimal roles. In other words, it's not really diversity. It's not really inclusive. It's not really fairness if all you're going to do is always keep the black folks the side characters. It's not always fair if you make the women the complementary people. If all you're going to do is constantly center, and what I mean by center is you focus on this one character, and they always happen to be white males, it becomes an issue because we've had a long list and history of that. So, again, it's not a problem to have that, but the problem is when someone tries to introduce something new and they maybe try to have these black people not just be the best friend, because maybe black characters can be more than just supporting characters. That should not be a problem. But if it is a problem, you might have to consider some things. But I want to emphasize something here because we've talked about this as well, and this has always gotten on my nerves. And I made a post about this. I think it went a little viral, whatever. But I wanted to emphasize this because I'm about to vent. And I'm going to highlight this here because this is a direct quote. My man sat here and said, let me make it bigger, some Star Wars fans. Okay? He said some. I want to point something out here. When we say the word some, in this context, we're talking about at least a small amount or a number of people. What does that mean? Some does not mean all. Some does not mean everyone. Hold on. I'm sorry. I got to say this up front because there are some people that are slow. I'm not going to sugarcoat this for y'all. I'm not going to play nice. Some of y'all are slow. Some, not all, are slow. Because when John Boyega specifically says some Star Wars fans are racist, he's not talking about all Star Wars fans are racist. And the reason why I bring this up is because some of y'all are slow and y'all start to take that context and say, oh my gosh, why is he talking about all of us? Like, I know, there's been a conversation about the American education system. I know that. I'm not going to sit here and act like it ain't an issue, but golly, y'all don't understand the difference between some and all? I mean, one even got more letters than the other one. You don't know what that means? I've literally seen, and I'm not going to name no names, major outlets, big outlets, millions of subscribers, fans, whatever, listen to an interview from Star Wars people. They will literally say, man, some fans are toxic. Man, some fans act racist. And they would be like, oh, they're calling us all racist. They're calling us all toxic. I'm like, what? And then the crazier thing is when you point out to these people who are slow Because if you can't tell the difference between some and all, you are slow. I'm not going to, like, there's no other way to put it if you don't understand how basic English works. If you don't understand that, you are slow. Because I've heard people sit here and go back and forth with me online and be like, no, they lumped us all together. I'm like, who? Who lumped you together? Who put you in there? You put yourself in there. You jumped into this conversation. I can't tell you how many times I've seen people say, oh my gosh, John Boyega, we had legitimate issues with John Boyega's character, and they just called us racist and toxic. And I'm like, what are you talking about? If you had legitimate issues because the character was not served right or whatever, why are you even talking when we're talking about the people that were racist and bigoted and that were calling for, the to boycott, Star Wars because a black man was a Star Trooper? We were talking about the people that were making all this noise about not my Star Wars. Like, we're talking about them. Why are you here? Why are you here? What are you talking about? Then I've also seen, and I'm going to call some of y'all out. I'm going to call some of y'all out. Oh, why are you guys even giving this platform to these very little small fraction of the audience? I'm sorry. Last time I checked, there's nothing wrong with calling out bigotry. I didn't think there was anything wrong with calling out immoral behavior. My question is, why are you trying to minimize it? Why are you one of those type of people that are out there when someone calls out a Nazi, someone calls out KKK behavior or bigotry, racism? Why are you out here saying we shouldn't talk about it or we should just ignore it? I've never heard people making excuses for the KKK that weren't white supremacists. I've never heard people make excuses for, talking about don't amplify that negative behavior. We're trying to condemn the negative behavior. Why are you trying to muffle the condemnation of negative behavior? Like, that's extremely weird energy to me, because this weird energy that's going around, it suggests that we should ignore the bigotry or ignore the morally wrong things that we see as if it'll just magically go away. Well, that has been the MO for white supremacy ideology, especially in this country, for centuries, because I don't know, especially whenever it came to people that were oppressed. Those Native Americans and that genocide, just ignore it. What women, y'all want to vote? Man, y'all want equal rights? Just ignore it. The Negroes, what Negroes? What slavery problem? What racism? Let me be clear. For the people that want to chastise or have an issue with John Boyega or other people talking about and calling out racism and bigotry, when you sit here and advocate basically for the silence of the condemnation of immoral behavior, you are now sitting in line with the ideology of silence being complicity. Okay? When you are basically saying, everybody be quiet, cool, let's just let that racism spread. Let's let that bigotry continue. Let's not call it out. Matter of fact, let's maybe let it be normalized. You are now complicit in that same behavior. Now you can lump yourself in. Now you could be a part and victimize yourself in that nonsense. Now you can do that, because every time you sit here and try to ignore that loud section of some Star Wars fans, you become just as guilty, because you don't even have the guts to call out the racism I don't know why. Do you agree with them? Do you just, I don't know. I'm not accusing. I know y'all be real sensitive out there. I'm not accusing, but I'm just saying, why don't you want to call it out? I thought calling out bad behavior was actually a good thing. Okay. And by the way, I also want to point something out because some people was like, John Boyega, why are you calling us racist when all we were doing was talking about the character of Finn? We just did not like Finn. Why is he coming up with this after the fact? We were just talking about Finn not being served as a character. Okay, first of all, some of y'all act like y'all just did not know. And maybe y'all don't remember, but of course the internet got receipts. Y'all think that he was just talking about this backlash because of what happened after the fact? We're not going to let y'all do this revisionist history nonsense. This is what he was talking about because clearly it has been a decade. I understand. Time flies. Memories are short. Some people are slow. So let me help you. Twitter trolls urged a boycott of Star Wars over the black character. Did y'all forget? Y'all forgot. Y'all didn't Google. Y'all don't know. Y'all didn't know. This happened, by the way, October 2015. October 2015. Let's think about that. The release of the Star Wars trailer. Oh my God. The movie hadn't even come out yet. The movie had not come out yet. All they saw was a black man as a stormtrooper in that trailer. And a small faction of Twitter users called for a boycott of the upcoming sequel, calling it or claiming it to be an anti-white propaganda. How the hell is having a black stormtrooper anti-white propaganda? And don't forget the hashtag boycott Star Wars did start. So for a lot of y'all that, again, y'all try this revisionist history, y'all try to act like people don't remember. We're not talking about the treatment of Finn. And yeah, listen, I told you, I'll be there right there with you to talk about how Disney, Lucasfilm screwed up his character. They were racist before the movie came out. This is what we were talking about. And this wasn't the only occasion. This happened so many other times. So yeah, please miss me all the way with all that nonsense. Now let's go back to what Boyega was saying. He said here, yes, and this is some of those fans, they're okay with us playing the best friend. But once we touch their heroes, once we lead, once we trailblaze, it's like, oh my God, it's just a bit too much. They're pandering. Let me tell you something. If you have a problem with other people that don't look like you creating a new lane or simply just existing, you might have a problem. You might. Let me tell you, I don't have a problem if somebody creates a character that represents something that doesn't look like me, because I don't have an inferiority complex. I'm not insecure. I'm not a bigot. I don't have a problem with other people having different forms of representation at all, because I live in the world with multiple people. Bring more the merrier. It's okay. But I'm going to tell y'all this. When you feel threatened because other people exist, all of that stems from two things. One, white supremacist ideology. If that's your mindset, that whiteness has to be the center, whiteness has to be the only norm, and a colonizer mindset. Somebody else has something. I want it. Somebody has something. They can't have it. I need to have it. That's a colonizer mindset. Stop. Grow up. Grow up. Other people that don't look like you stepping into a galaxy far, far away is not going to infringe on your childhood. It's not going to damage your image of like what this genre is. It only expands it. And expansion is fine. And if you want to live in a narrow-minded way, that's fine too. Go watch the DVDs. Stay at home. No one is forcing you to watch anything, but you are only acting like a complete jerk when you have to go kill the joy of other people that simply want to share in the same level of excitement and representation that you've had for years. Stop being a colonizer. Don't do that. It's not cool. So I am ecstatic that John Boyega continues to point this stuff out. And to be clear, he wasn't only going for some of those Star Wars fans. He's also given his criticism to the studio as well. Okay, so again, all these arguments of like, well, he should have been talking about Disney. Well, he should have been talking about not all the fans. He shouldn't have amplified all these. All of y'all arguments sound dumb because it sounds like you just want to make space for bigotry, racism, and sexism to just exist, probably because it doesn't affect you. Stop being callous. Have a level of empathy. Just think about something or someone outside yourself for a moment. Anyway, I'm tired of these enablers. I'm tired of some of these toxic Star Wars fans. You guys do give the rest of everyone else a bad name. And I would encourage everyone to call out negative behavior, because at the end of the day, there is a frustration of you don't want to be associated with, you don't want your fandom to be associated with that negativity. The best way to get rid of that negativity is to call it out. Dang it. Where is that article? Hold on. There was one other thing in there I wanted to show y'all. Hold on. There was one other thing that was vitally important. And this is why calling this stuff out makes sense. When you call this stuff out, it's not just for some level of virtue signaling or whatever. This is what happened when we called out the hashtag that was fundamentally racist. It says here the hashtag then led to a series of positive tweets highlighting and praising the diversity of both the cast and the fan base. That's the point. That's the point. You take that negativity, you take that hatred, and you change it into something positive. You kill it. You kill it with love. So when we sit here and call out Nazis, when we call out racists, when we call out all that stuff, we're trying to introduce a space for the positivity. That's the point. It's not just to make me feel good. I'm trying to call out that sexism because I have daughters. I'm calling out that toxic masculinity because I have daughters. I'm calling out that racism because I'm Black. I'm calling out that bigotry because as a human being, we all should be able to be respected and appreciated. That's the point. It's always supposed to lead to the positive. But I want y'all to think about that, especially some of y'all that want to be like, oh, leave it alone, be quiet, don't amplify it. It's all good until it comes for you. Anyway, I think I'm done. Y'all let me know, what did you think about John Boyega's comments about Star Wars, the racism and all that that has long plagued the franchise? Whatever you think, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Whew. All right. Dang, what y'all talking about? Quiet one. What you got? The best example of studios finally listening to us is getting rid of ugly Sonic. Studios got to mature with their audiences, though. I agree. I mean, it's a juggling act. First of all, shout out to them for doing the Sonic move. That was one of the best pivot, one of the best pivots ever in the studio industry, I think. But the growing with the audience thing, it's hard, right? To an extent, you want to grow, but if you think of it from a business standpoint, you know what? It reminds me of a church. When it comes to a church, you want to grow the church, but you don't want to grow the church in one direction. You still want to grow the church in the other direction by having the youth involved, right? Because if you just keep catering to the older folks and stay with that generation and you don't ever look back at the young ones that are coming up, your church is going to grow old and it's going to die because there's no growth. So it's the same thing with a studio and a franchise. Yeah, you want to definitely capture that audience and grow with them, but you can't forget about the other ones coming up. That's how you get that longevity. So there is a balancing act that needs to happen within that regard. So I agree with you, but it's got to be a little bit deeper than that. Let's see, Larry, what you got? Was he implying there was supposed to be a love story with him and Ray, saying we can't touch the main characters? Remember, he had a secret to tell her. Seemed like love, but he's force sensitive too. So if I recall, it was bad writing. First of all, it was bad writing. Let's just get that out the way. There's no need for us to litigate this and to try and break this down. It was bad writing, right? Supposedly he was running after her to basically tell her he was force sensitive. Stupid, whatever. But Boyega's main argument, which I agree with, was how Star Wars falsely advertised him. Keep in mind, many of us believed he was going to be a Jedi too. He had a whole lightsaber. Hey, man, regular folks don't just pick up lightsabers like that. Not in Star Wars. You know what I'm saying? So when you see, hey, he had a blue one at that. Come on, man. You got a blue lightsaber with a brother? Man, if you ain't force sensitive and a whole Jedi in the making. So, that he called him out for that. That's what he was really saying, was like, don't basically show this and then pull away and then do something completely different. JM, what you got? Yes, bottom line, Finn's role was wasted. Yes, it was 110%. Let's see, Mike, what you got? Man, I just want to pay for that speech. Let him know, even. Thank you so much. Back at it for the second half of the speech. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate that. What you got? Tammy, never stop telling it like it is. This is the only way I know how. It's the only way. Thank you so much. I do appreciate y'all, for real. Thank you. LeVry, what you got? It doesn't make sense that Boyega would say that now after the fact, when everybody was rooting for him to be a Jedi after the fact. So for one, I think that it's not so much after the fact, because he was saying this stuff at that point. I mean, in the beginning, when he was talking about it, if you look at a lot of his earlier quotes, he was very PC about it. But it was also like he was under contract. It wasn't until he got out of contract, and I've told y'all about this, y'all gonna know an actor's real feelings when they are no longer under contract for that film. That's when he started to speak up. And the purpose of this documentary was about Black leading men in Hollywood. And this was just a story that he related to. So it's not like this was new. It's not like he was just bringing this up randomly. It was perfectly within the context of the documentary. And he's been consistent. We just talked about him, last year or something like that, the year before that. So this is not new, and it's not so much after the fact. It's just the same fact and just a different situation. So I would slightly disagree with that it's not so much after the fact. But if you're gonna talk about it, that documentary is the perfect place. Jesus, some of E-Man fans are the best. That is incorrect. All of E-Man's fans are the best. All. That's an all. Okay. That is an all right there. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you. Okay, I think this is time for CinemaCon. So yeah, let us do that. Okay. We have some CinemaCon updates. A bunch of different movies were announced and different things are coming your way. So, like I said, I'm not going to go over every single one because it was like what 3-4 days of announcements. But we can at least go over some of the major things, major films or whatever that have come out and excuse me, announcements or whatnot. So first up, we have the first poster for Wicked. The movie is going to be called Wicked for Good. It will be in theaters November 21st. I don't think I did. I didn't do a review for this. But I will say I liked Wicked. Now, there was way too much singing for me. Like, way too much. Like, luckily, I didn't have to go see this in theaters. Luckily, I got a chance to stream it, and boy, fast forward. But shout out to Ariana, shout out to Cynthia, amazing singers, but popular. Nope. Just get to the story. Get to the story. Thank you. So I did not. That was not for me. Now my kids, the wife, they love it. They love it, and that's fine. They be sitting there singing all the songs and all that. That's cool. Not for me. But we do have the poster here. And it says here that, of course, they show the teasers. We can't show a lot of that stuff either. It says for the teaser for Wicked for Good at CinemaCon. It shows Glinda and Elphaba reuniting. Elphaba starting her campaign to expose the wizard. Snippets of the original storyline of The Wizard of Oz were also intersecting. So that's definitely been something I think that people are looking forward to in this story. That's been my main curiosity is like, yeah, how did we get from that Wicked to this, in terms of how she became the Wicked Witch of the West and all that, or East, I don't know, East Coast, West Coast, whatever she was. But in addition to that, we also have The Conjuring, The Last Rites. Now, this will follow the final case of the Warrens, making it the final film in the main line franchise that comes out September 5th. When I tell you, I am so happy that that is the case. I loved The Conjuring. I loved The Conjuring Part 2. All the rest of them have been bad. Every Conjuring movie that James Wan did not sit in that director's chair has been terrible. The last one was probably one of the worst. It was so bad. So I get it that they want to make a franchise out of this. I understand that, but they are bad. As a horror fan, could not deal with these things given how strong of a start that they had. Y'all had a great start and you just got worse and worse and worse. So if this is it, fine. I love those actors. I like, again, how this started, but man, please let this be done because this is bad news. What else we got? Oh, we got the Black Phone. You got the first logo here for the Black Phone 2, starring Ethan Hawke, I believe. Yeah, I have still, and I'm a little ashamed of this, I still haven't seen the Black Phone. I need to. I heard nothing but good things about. There's actually two. I gotta watch Black Phone and I gotta watch Barbarian. So I've heard good things about it. I'm hearing something interesting about why there's even a sequel. I don't know. So I need to watch that and see what the hype is all about. So they are doing a sequel. It's coming out right around Halloween time. That's really good timing too. Next up, Jumanji. Jumanji 3 is happening. Same guy that directed the last one is coming back. Is that Black Panther? That looked like Black Panther. Y'all on Wakanda? No? Okay. But yeah, same cast, same crew, Kevin Hart, The Rock. You know what to expect. I don't care. I don't care. I don't remember Jumanji 2. Like, I don't even remember what happened in it. It kind of feels like the first movie and the second kind of blend together. I don't. Oh, that's the one where they were switching around. Okay, yeah, I really don't care. So, whatever. Now the Beatles. The Beatles are going to get a biopic, but not just one, not just two, not three, but 4 them. It's gonna be 4 them Beatles biopics. Harris Dickinson is gonna play John Legend. Paul Mescal is gonna play Paul McCartney. Barry Keoghan is gonna play Ringo Starr, and Joseph Quinn is gonna play George Harrison. First of all, Joseph Quinn is doing everything. This man went from Eddie in Stranger Things to being in Quiet Place. Now he's then he was in Gladiator 2. Then he's in Fantastic Four. Like, this dude is making moves. Okay, this right here, Joseph Quinn, he's making moves. I don't know who these other people. I know Barry and Paul, whatever. I don't know who this is. Who is it? Who is he playing? Harris Dickinson. I don't know who that is. This is coming out in April of 2028. I'm going to be very honest. And maybe this is a generational thing. Maybe this is a cultural thing. Maybe it's a little bit of both. I don't give a damn about no Beatles. Sorry. Just not. It's not for me. There's now, it's just that their music has never appealed to me. I understand that they were like one of the first, one of the biggest bands in history. I understand that what was it, during the 60s, 70s, whatever, that, that was it. That was not played in my house. That was not played on the radios I listen to. It's not for me. Now, because of their hype, I can understand why a biopic will exist. No question about that. I am very skeptical about having 4. And as an outsider, as someone who's not a fan, I don't hate them, but not a fan, but I'm still aware of who the Beatles are. I know who Paul McCartney is, right? So a Paul McCartney biopic makes sense to me. A John Lennon biopic, that makes sense because he was a figure on his own right. Even Ringo Starr, maybe not top of the list, but I understand that. What's his name? George Harrison? He need a whole biopic? As someone who never followed the Beatles, I knew all 3 of these other guys' names except for George Harrison. I did not. I knew Ringo Starr. I knew Paul McCartney. I knew John Lennon. I did not know George Harrison. I'm just now learning this man's name. He needs a whole movie on his own? I can understand the others, but he need one. What's that Jonas brother? What's that Jonas brother that don't nobody care about? I know what it is. Nick Jonas, Joe Jonas. What's the one that don't nobody know his name? I don't know his name. Do y'all know the Jonas brothers? I should ask my daughter. She knows. What's the missing Bobby? His name is Bobby? Is it Bobby for real? The Jonas brothers? It's 3 of them. Hold on. Y'all not gonna not know this either. Y'all supposed to help me with this. Hold on. Who are the Jonas Brothers? His name is Kevin. Oh wow. Okay. I know Nick. I know Joe. I did not know Kevin. Dang. So George Harrison is Kevin Jonas to me. I don't know this man. Like, I knew that there was a fourth member, but I didn't know. So anyway, I'm just saying, I don't know if a fourth movie is really all that big of a deal, if it's necessary. I feel like it's probably going to be the worst performing one. Again, I'm not the main target audience. I'm that third outside core of the audience where, yeah, the hardcore fans are going to go, the casual fans are going to go, and then it's the rest of us. I'm the rest of us outside. And I'm like, nothing about a George Harrison biopic is going to make me want to go watch this. Just nothing. Anyway, that's your first look at them. I guess they're all together. They didn't even get their bowl cuts yet. All right. Is that something that y'all looking forward to? Like the Beatles? Like, again, maybe y'all bigger Beatles fans than me. I don't know. I know Michael Jackson was. He bought their whole masters and everything. But anyway, Mahershala Ali, the kind of sort of maybe one day will be Blade brother, will star as an assassin dealing with loneliness in Basim Tariq's new innovatively made action film, Your Mother, Your Mother, Your Mother. Why is that the title? Anyway, we talked about this before. Since Marvel is dragging their feet with Blade, the old director that clearly Mahershala Ali has no problem with went ahead, made a movie, put Mahershala in there, and at least he's working. I'm just glad Mahershala is working, because I'd be real mad if this man was still on the shelf from 2019 and not being able to work because of Blade that just won't pick up any steam, which is still baffling to me. But anyway, Mahershala is out there working, and he's going to be in Jurassic Park. So shout out to the brother, for keeping it going. Roof Man got a trailer with y'all boy, Channing Tatum, as a polite thief who robbed 60 McDonald's and lives in a Toys R Us after escaping from prison. Like, Channing Tatum, he just be doing anything. Like, he just be doing anything. Like, a polite thief who robs McDonald's? All right. I and you live in a Toys R Us. Why? Like, what is this? Why is this a movie? This got to be a comedy. It has to be a comedy, because there's no way I can take this seriously. There's no way. I refuse. Chris Pratt is going to be in Mercy, which is it's a man who's trapped on a chair who must prove to an AI courtroom in 90 minutes that he didn't murder his wife. So that's interesting. I mean, it almost was giving me Minority Report vibes just from the sounds of it. But you're going to have to convince computers that you're innocent. I like this because it's going to have to present either the limitations of AI or the hopefully creativeness of human beings and how that clashes. And it also is giving me Black Mirror vibes, because are we actually going to get to the point where AI is going to have to become our new judges? or our new juries. We're no longer judged by, a jury of our own peers. Yikes. So, first of all, I don't even like talking to AI for my customer service. Okay. I'll be sitting there like, man, representative, agent, human, representative. I don't even like talking to these AI chatbots. I'm gonna have to plead for my life now. I like the direction we're going in, though. This is what I like when movies do, is they'll take something realistic that we are dealing with and they show what an extreme could look like. I like that. What else do we have? More CinemaCon. Now You See Me. So Now You See Me Part 3 is gonna be titled Now You See Me, Now You Don't. Haha. That was brilliant. Why didn't y'all just do that for part 2? Like, why wasn't that the title for part 2? Y'all waited till the third movie to do this? Now, let me just say, I absolutely loved the first Now You See Me movie. Loved it. I always like heist movies. And if you could do some magic and stuff, it was cool. Where's that dude at? Little Franco over here, Dave Franco. Man, the way he was playing with them cards, I was like, man, y'all can go ahead and make that brother Gambit, because he was killing it with those with them cards and everything. It was great. And then they did the second movie. Ugh. It just didn't have the same punch. Didn't have the same flavor. It just didn't work. So I'm conflicted on whether part 3 is going to be good or not. But apparently that don't even matter, because Now You See Me 4 is also in the works. What they gonna call this? Now You See Me Again? Now You See Me Psych? Like, what y'all gonna call this? I don't know. Hopefully they have a good concept and they make it work. I don't know if they can. I don't know where this can go, but I guess they're gonna try. Here goes some news. Friday. A new Friday movie is officially in the works, and it is going to be written and directed by Ice Cube. Now, here's the thing. Friday is a Black cult classic. For all the people watching that are not Black, this does not apply to you. But if you are Black, then you probably know, if you have not watched Friday, you probably have gotten your Black card taken away from you. It's a rite of passage. You should at least know 2 to 3 phrases from the film. If you don't know what it means when I say what chain, like I don't know what to tell you, So anyway, they're doing another one. But I'm wondering here, can this work? It's been a long time. We know that the humor has changed significantly from the 90s. Significantly. We also have been pleading for the longest time, can Chris Tucker come back and all that stuff? And, Chris Tucker done went a different direction in his life. What's old dude from Wildin' Out? The young guy with the DC Young Fly. A lot of people, I was about to say with the roach on his forehead. I've been watching too much Wildin' Out. A lot of people have been asking for DC Young Fly to come in and play the role. And this is the thing. Now, they also said that the movie was going to be called Last Friday, appropriately titled. Um, I personally still think the first Friday is the best. Second Friday is still good. Mike Epps was freaking hilarious. Um, Friday After Next wasn't as funny to me. I do think that it had some great additions, especially with Cat Williams and stuff like that. But I don't know where they're gonna go with this. Now, I'm gonna let Ice Cube do what he does, right? Like you gave me some classics before. I'm sure that there are a lot of things here that you can do. It sucks, rest in peace to Tiny, who played Debo. He passed away, so he's not there. Um I don't know how they're going to make this work. You know, is Craig going to have kids? Like what's the story? Is it gentrification? I don't know. So the nostalgia in me is happy that this is happening. But I'm a little worried. I'm a little concerned because I just would like to know what direction are we going to go in. So we'll see. What else we got? John Wick. So we do have some John Wick updates here. John Wick prequel. The prequel anime is in the works. I don't know who that director is. Keanu Reeves is going to come back to voice. And this is going to follow John Wick killing all of his rivals in one night to free himself from the high table. So this is probably where my man got the name Baba Yaga. Like this is probably where he earned. This is probably where the pencil trick, or the thing with the pencil. This is probably where he perfected this. So yeah, like, and it's an anime, so they can go wild with this. They can do whatever they want with this. Then you have a spinoff with Kane. This is the Donnie Yen spinoff we saw with the blind assassin in the last movie. And it looks like he is also going to direct it. Now, Donnie Yen, my man, can go ahead and direct some movies. Like, he's a good director. So I like the fact that he's going to do that. It says here that the movie is going to be stylistically modeled like a Yen, like his previous action films. Cool. Let's go. I support this. Of course, we also know Ballerina is coming out with Anna de Armas, so they're gonna do that. And of course, surprise, John Wick 5 is officially happening. A story has been decided. Oh no, I can't believe it. I thought that he was actually gone in the last episode. Stop. Y'all knew good and well that flight of stairs was not going to hold, John Wick back. Y'all knew good and well that when the studio saw that money, keep in mind, this movie started like the little engine that could. This movie started, I would say, almost like a joke. I don't think anybody really thought John Wick 1 was going to become like the little cult classic that it became. I still have John Wick 2 probably as one of the best. John Wick 2, the way it opened up, oh my God, that was amazing. But I cannot sit here and pretend that this is a shocker that they're going to do this till this man can't go no more. And I bet you they're going to reinvent it and redo it 20 years later because it's easy money. It's easy money to do John Wick movies. But I'm here for it. I'll watch it. All right. Next up, we have a poster for Him. What's Him? This stars Marlon Wayans and Tyreek Withers. It's a new psychological horror produced by Jordan Peele and directed by Justin Tipping. It's described as a horror sports movie translated through a classic spaghetti Western lens. I have no idea what the hell that means. What are you talking about? So you see the football, you see some blood on there. Crazy, crazy. And him, it's described as it's a new horror movie that follows a college quarterback who gets the chance to train with his idol. Marlon Wayans plays the idol. His idol takes him into a sinister world to see what he's willing to sacrifice for fame. Okay. I only have one red flag here. This says that it is produced by Jordan Peele, not directed. Not directed. I'm going to wait and see. I'm going to wait and see. If you told me that this was directed by Jordan Peele, I'm there. Produced? You're not going to get me like that. Nah. Now, let me see a trailer, but you're not going to get that automatic, oh man, it's Jordan Peele movie. Nah, y'all tried to play. Y'all thought y'all was slick by saying produced by Jordan Peele. You thought you was slick. Nah, you didn't see directed. You didn't say directed. Okay. So I'll wait. I could wait. I'm not gonna be, I won't trip over this, you know. Let's see that trailer first. Oh, Megan 2.0. Y'all knew a Megan 2 was coming. So Megan 2.0 follows Megan, who is hired by the military to stop another android who's killing all of her creators. She also skydives off a mountain while performing some sort of heist. Let me tell you something. When they first did the dancing android thing, I didn't know what to make of this. But I wish I could have done a reaction video for this. I was gonna play it here, but all the trailers they're copyrighted and they would have blocked the live. I saw this trailer. This thing was hilarious. Like I was literally laughing out loud because of how funny this was. I think that the first movie was advertised a little misleading in a way because it was like, oh, this is kind of like Chucky meets AI, but it was really a low key horror. It was a dark horror, but it was I mean a low key dark comedy. This, based off of the trailer, feels more like a comedy. I'm going to watch this. This looks funny. It definitely is not scary. The jokes in the trailer were funny. I'm coming back. I'm coming back for this. I cannot wait. This feels like one of those movies you go watch it on the matinee, have a good time, and keep it moving. There's nothing. I'm not going to go into this movie expecting any seriousness. If you advertise silly, funny comedy, fine. And it made me laugh. So I'm here for it. I like it. Y'all let me know what you think if you did see the trailer. Next up, we got Predator. So the first trailer for Predator Badlands reveals a predator going on a hunt across a bunch of gorgeous looking planets. Okay. And it says here that's the first picture that we get of it. I guess that's the predator. You get the first look. The film follows an outcast predator and aims to answer the question, what if the predator was a good guy? Okay. All right. So I remember the actress who's in this movie. She had said something to the effect of, she was like, obviously I can't, say anything, blah blah blah, but she was like, "Oh, I'm going to join the predator to hunt something deadly." I'm like, I swear you better not have spoiled the fact that y'all was gonna put one of the xenomorphs in there. I really hope you were not dumb enough to spoil that for us. Because if you're going to do that crossover of putting a xenomorph in there, I don't want to know. Fede Alvarez, he had just told us that, we talked about it last time, where he was like, yeah, if there was ever going to be a Predator alien movie, we should do an alien movie and have the Predator just show up, or or vice versa. I really hope she didn't just spoil that, because I was going into this, movie just expecting a Predator and that's it. But now that you're talking about you about to go hunting something, I don't know. But I am looking forward to Badlands and Predator in general. I'm still holding out a little bit of hope that we can get that samurai / ninja movie. That would be amazing. But we have to wait and see. We also got some announcements here about Spider-Verse. So Beyond the Spider-Verse, it will release on June 4th, 2027. Now, keep in mind, this should have came out in 2025, blah, blah, blah. But wasn't going to happen. They had a lot of delays. It says here that it is, however, bigger and bolder than the previous two movies, with an entire team working on new animation techniques. So they are trying to do a whole different type of animation. And if you think about it, that was one of the highlights of the last Into the Spider-Verse, how all the characters had just this different type of animation. But this stuff also makes it take longer. This prolongs the whole process. And you have here the first footage of Beyond the Spider-Verse reveals Miles and Gwen reuniting, Miles fighting the Prowler before going on an adventure with him. The animation style had some innovative new techniques as well. I think I have some of the images right here. Okay, yeah. So we got a couple of the first look images here. Do we need 3D glasses? Because this looked kind of blurry a little bit. But yeah, I don't know how I feel about this animation so far. This looked like one of them little children's books from the past, But yeah, oh my gosh, yeah, I'm getting dizzy. Like, yeah, do we need 3D glasses for this? Because this is wonky. This is definitely wonky. Okay, this is kind of dope. I do like that. So yeah, you got your first look images of Prowler, of Miles, Gwen, and we'll see like how that actually comes together. Now, I've said it before and I'll say it again. If all Beyond the Spider-Verse has to do, all it has to do is keep the same level of quality as the last two movies, and this will be the greatest Spider-Man trilogy ever. This will top all of them, period. If this movie can be as good, if not better. You also got here a first look of Prowler versus Miles as well. So definitely one of those highly anticipated films. And by the way, this is coming out right around Avengers Secret Wars, same year. So we gonna be cooking for a minute. We gonna be eating real good. Let's see, is that it for CinemaCon? No, it's not, because we got the other Spider-Man, and we got our first logo for Spider-Man Brand New Day. This is coming to theaters next year, July 31st, 2026. This is definitely going to be Spider-Man 4, of course. And Tom Holland says that Spider-Man Brand New Day, it's a fresh start. It's that, and it is exactly that. That's all I can say. Look at that man not spoiling stuff. Good for him. Good for him. Because y'all know he used to be good for sport. He'd be like, man, well, Andrew coming, and oh yeah, Toby might be stopping by too. And boy, them snipers, them Black Widows used to be on that boy constantly. Boy, just So what's interesting here for my comic fans is that this is called Brand New Day. Now, if you notice, all the other Spider-Man movies always had the word home in it, right? Homecoming, Far From Home, No Way Home. But this is Brand New Day. So if you know from the comic books, Brand New Day, um, and I don't think that they will do this, but Brand New Day had to do with a storyline that really bothered some people. It bothered some people because it did a really big change for Peter. If I'm not mistaken, I think Aunt May was dying or she died, and Peter made a deal with the devil. That's right, Mephisto himself, and was like, "Yo, I'll do anything to save Aunt May." And Mephisto was like, "Anything?" And what ended up happening was um he had to end his marriage with MJ. So people was like, "Excuse me? For Aunt May? What?" So that was a little controversial. People didn't like it or whatever. But this, I think, is a good indication that yes, we're going to have Mephisto. Now, there was already a rumor, which I believe, that Mephisto is going to be in Ironheart. So it makes sense that if you're going to introduce Mephisto and Ironheart, and you just so happen to call this movie a very specific title from a comic book too for Spider-Man, because that was also called Brand New Day. Yeah, I got a feeling Mephisto is definitely going to be involved. Now, here's the thing. There is no Mary Jane that we know of, unless that's Sadie Sink's character. Um, and Peter is doing something different. So is this how we do it? Is this how we're starting over? Is Mephisto going to make a deal with Peter in some way? We don't know. But I'm thinking it's highly likely that Mephisto is going to be a part of this in some way, shape, or form. But all right, I think that is it for that is it for um CinemaCon updates. What did you guys think? Like, were there any things in this that got you excited? Any movies, any announcements that you're looking forward to? Whatever you think, let me know in the comments down below. All right. JN, why Hollywood? 4 Beatle movies? Listen, again, it's not my cup of tea, but it's the same reason why I don't question why there was an Elvis movie. I didn't listen to Elvis. I don't care about Elvis at all. But I can't deny his popularity. 4 movies does feel excessive. But even with Michael Jackson, did we not? I just said, like, yo, that felt excessive too. 2 parts? I don't need 2 parts of a Michael Jackson movie. I don't think it's that big of a deal. But we'll see. I don't know. J Dot, what you got? The idea of an AI courtroom is scary, but we black people, it is more scarier than being judged by an all, or is it more scary than an all white jury? I would say that depends, because you still have seen bias in AI, because AI can only be a byproduct of its creator. So if its creator, humans, happen to have certain biases, and if those biases don't include DEI, it might just be more of the same, right? So I just don't like the idea about um dealing with AI, because AI can be problematic in itself. Like, AI could be flawed. Now, we don't know how advanced this level of AI is yet. So, we'll just have to wait and see. But But yeah, I think that I think both can be scary. I think both can be scary. Um JN, him is intriguing. I may have an idea to expand. Okay. You gonna email Jordan Peele? All right. All right. We'll see what happens. Um, let's get into we got two more. No, we got three more topics. Yeah, we got three more topics, and then I got one little extra bonus for y'all. Let's talk about Infinity War. So in Infinity War, um this is where we really got the full introduction to Thanos and his crew. And one of his crew was Proxima Midnight. So Proxima Midnight, you know, she was in Infinity War. She was one of his henchmen or whatever. And you know, apparently she didn't make it to the second movie, to Endgame, or maybe she was replaced. I don't know, whatever. But the actress that played her had some issues with Marvel. So that's what we're gonna talk about here. So Carrie Coon. Her name is Carrie Coon. Um Carrie Coon, she's been in The Leftovers, The Gilded Age, and White Lotus. I ain't watched none of those. But as playing Proxima Midnight, she did a voiceover, she did the motion capture in Infinity War. But her husband, Tracy Letts, talked about how she didn't really come back for Endgame and why, because she had a little issue with Marvel. She went here and said, or he said, I believe Marvel went to her for the second movie and they asked her to be in Avengers Endgame. And she said, well, the first movie is the most successful movie ever made. Are you going to pay me more money? And Marvel said, no, we're not going to pay you any more money. Do you want to come play in this or not? So she said, wow, you're not going to pay me any more money? Then I don't think I'm going to do it. And Marvel was like, you should feel fortunate to be part of the MCU. And that was it. That was a wrap for Carrie Coon. Damn, Marvel. That's how you feel? So there's a couple sides to this. A couple sides. Let's take her side first. I agree. If you should be advocating for yourself, right? If you don't fight for yourself and fight for more money, who's going to do it for you? Good for you. At the same time, I just learned who Carrie Coon was today. Today. At no point at all during Infinity War and Endgame did I ever wonder who's that actress playing that character. I didn't even know that it was a real person. I thought it was all CGI. I'm just saying, your name's not Scarlett Johansson. I didn't see you falling off that cliff for an Infinity Stone. You were a supporting character. Like, you literally were a supporting character. You're supporting character in the whole movie, and your only job was to support Thanos. So how you gonna be a two-time supporting actor? People don't even recognize your face. You did not make a huge impact in the film, and you about to call for more money? First of all, you're lucky that Marvel even called you back. And to the degree, let me just say this. I actually agree with Marvel that They're not going to pay more because that's something you should have been talking to with your agent in the first place. Hey, if I sign on, maybe I got some royalties or something, or maybe if I get called back, I'm gonna get a promotion or something. Like, y'all got to work these deals out better. But my question also is, what was your side supporting character going to do? Were you going to get more lines? Were you about to do something? Like, you showed up and died in Wakanda. You wanted to get paid for that? Marvel had to show y'all how indispensable or how dispensable you were. You were expendable. You did not have the leverage at that point. If you was ScarJo, if you was, some other person, Zoe, Zaldana, okay, cool. You could make that conversation. You could have that conversation. You didn't do nothing. Now, here's the other thing. What was the other girl's name? Gemma Chan. I remember Gemma Chan was in the Marvels. Do y'all remember her in the Marvels? Y'all probably don't. Maybe some of y'all don't. Gemma Chan was in the Marvels. Y'all remember the blue girl? That was her. She was the blue Kree. And Marvel said, yo, come on back. And what did they do? They made her the lead, Cersei or whatever, in Eternals. That didn't do very well. And there are no plans for a sequel of Eternals. So, in other words, just because you don't have a big role now in the MCU, it doesn't mean that won't open up a door later for you to headline a whole movie with them down the line. So, Carrie, at this point, might have just fumbled the bag. You might have just fumbled a future bag. Because, yeah, you was Proxima Midnight, but you probably could have been somebody else down the line. But you wanted that extra $50, and Marvel said no. I would have just been like, all right, cool. No, let's do it. And then just be like, all right, I'm not going to come back unless y'all ask for more money in another future project or something. Keep that relationship going. And Marvel's kind of right. You should be appreciative of the fact that you're in the MCU because, let's be honest, unless you are an established actor, unless you've been you had a career way before Marvel, there's no way else to say that, like, I mean, there's no denying that, yes, being in the MCU gives you a ton of exposure. Having exposure is absolutely a way. I mean, in a sense, that is free advertising. It is a way for people to be like, oh, Carrie Coon, I remember her from this Avengers movie, and I remember her from this Marvel thing. Maybe I'll go check her out on this TV show. Maybe I'll go check her out in this other movie. It's free exposure. So I think I side with Marvel on this one. Again, fight for your money. Get your money. I'm not mad at that. But you gotta fight smarter. You gotta fight a little smarter. You don't need to that extra couple days wasn't gonna hurt. I'm just saying. Anyway, y'all let me know. What do you think about Carrie's decision? Should she have fought more for the money? Or was Marvel wrong for denying her and being cheap? Because let's be honest, Marvel probably could have afforded it too. All y'all made was like $2 billion. But y'all let me know what you think in the comments down below. Ms. Carey, Mr. Chadwick Boseman didn't make more than $1 million in any Marvel movie, so my apologies, beloved. And that's the thing. Like, some people are beholden to their contracts, but had Chadwick still been around, I bet you he would have made way more money in Black Panther 3, because I think his contract was finished after Endgame, because he had like a 5-picture deal. So I think it was either Endgame or Black Panther 2. And after that, he was definitely about to be in a better position to negotiate way more money. So anyway, what else do we have? Yeah, we can do this. Aldis Hodge on T'Challa. Guys, we have talked about this, had little fan speculations and fan casting and all that good stuff for a while. But finally, even after your boy has put it out there, I don't know if I started it or not, but I at least put it out there that Aldis Hodge should have been, in that conversation for T'Challa. Y'all remember the interview that I had or whatever with him, and I put that out there. I put it in the universe, and ever since then, we had other people online. They started doing the AI imagery of Aldis Hodge in the Black Panther suit, and looks great, right? Like a good fit. Then we had Shannon Sharp talking to Ryan Coogler, dropping that in his ear as well. But one thing we have not had was Aldis Hodge specifically speaking on this until recently. Let me pull this up, see if I got it. There it is.
Several topics.
All right. So first of all, shout out to my boy, my man Nick Hamilton. He was out there doing the red carpet, talked to, by the way, recast T'Challa supporter, by the way. And he was talking to Aldis at this point, and he asked him straight up. What's up with this, T'Challa, can you do it? So I want to give my man some props. Appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? This is how, by the way, this is how the community should work, right? If I don't have access to do something and somebody else does, it's got to flow through extension. Okay? It's got to flow through extension. So my man took the question. Like, if I was there, he's asking what I would have asked. So I love this. Let's see what he had to say.
Name has come up in several topics as far as replacing T'Challa in the MCU, as far as Black Panther is concerned. Yeah. You being an action star and being able to showcase that version of yourself as far as an actor, do you feel like that helps opportunities? We know that as the fans what you can do, but as far as the studios are concerned, to be able to trust you as the character, to be able to portray that on screen.
Yeah, I mean, so I'll say first, all of that noise that y'all hearing is fan love. You know what I'm saying? So to the fans who have expressed their support for me, in that space, to step into those shoes, I appreciate everybody, but it does mean a lot when you can exhibit all of who you are when it comes to what we do in this job, because oftentimes you have executives who see you one way. Their viewpoint is a bit narrow sometimes, and they get fixated on seeing you as, oh, you're this guy for this thing, all right, cool, instead of understanding all that you are capable of. So it's on you to continually push and show people and hustle for opportunities where you get to exhibit the full spectrum of your talents and the breadth of your capabilities. So it does help, and every little small thing, it could be a commercial, every little thing helps.
Well, I can definitely see you as T'Challa, by the way. But
all right, shout out once again, brother Nick Hamilton. Great interview. Now, there's one thing I would have asked. Just one thing. I would have just said, if Marvel knocks on your door, are you saying yes? Just to make it official. Now, I have a strong belief that Aldis would say yes. I have a strong belief that if Marvel did, I'm just saying, I would just like that officially on record that he would like the role. Now, back in 2011 or something like that, Aldis Hodge has expressed that he would like to play Black Panther. Now, this was obviously way in the past. So it would not be surprising if he was still interested. So anyway, great interview. Love to see it. So just and I like the fact that this continues to be in the atmosphere. Again, doesn't mean it's gonna go nowhere, but you never know. You never know. Hold on. But y'all let me know, what did you think about this in the comments? Feel free to let me know down below. Right. Hello. The interviewer asking Aldis is my cousin. Okay, now we got another. Well, I guess you're not a Hamilton, but anyway. But okay, shout out. Hey, listen, shout out to all the family out there. Nick is that's good people's right there. It's good people's. So I really do appreciate him having that. I don't even know if he knew I was gonna show this. But let's see what else. We got our last topic for tonight. We got to go over a couple MCU updates. Some of these were from CinemaCon. But it's just more so a mix of certain things that were said. So first up, we have what's up with the Kingpin. So it was kind of brought up like, yo, could we ever see Kingpin in Avengers Doomsday or Avengers Secret Wars? Like, what's up with that? Vincent D'Onofrio responded directly and was like, nah, that ain't happening. You ain't gonna see him in no movies. And he says, I'm only usable for television shows, not even a one-off Wilson Fisk movie. It's all caught up in rights and stuff. I don't know when that would work out or if it ever work itself or ever would work out at all. So once again, we see that, certain rights and all this politicking and stuff can be a hinder. It can hinder certain stories. It can block certain characters. Maybe there's an expiration date on that. Maybe there's not. I don't know who potentially owns that. I don't know if Sony owns Daredevil-ish rights. I guess they can't own everything because Daredevil did show up. Oh, wait, no. Daredevil showed up in the Sony movie. Is this Sony that got him under contract? Because it makes sense that Daredevil could show up there, but you never gonna see Spider-Man show up there. Man, I don't know. But don't expect to see Wilson Fisk in the MCU movies anytime soon. We got a couple things with Thunderbolts. They had some silly little presentation or whatever. But apparently the footage from CinemaCon already showed that Bucky he had his little run for Congress or whatever, and it lasted less than half of a term. So grand opening, grand closing. I don't even understand why this is a story point. I mean, what are we doing? Y'all never laid anything out. Not in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, not even in Captain America. Y'all never said nothing. Y'all was just like, oh, by the way, I'm running for Congress. What? Like, y'all introduced this just out of nowhere, and then you put it in your footage that he's out. Like, it's feeling random. It also feels non-consequential. Like, I don't know if I should even care about this. So, okay. Little Fantastic Four. Sue Storm is pregnant in the footage, I guess, that they did for this. I think the first thing people think about is Franklin. But if I'm not mistaken, Franklin ain't the oldest kid. That's Valeria. So where's could she be pregnant with Valeria? Now, the MCU is obviously different. Maybe they'll change that. But I guess in the trailer footage, whatever they got, there you go. Then let's see, we got some more Fantastic Four. Now, this is from Matt Shackman, and he's kind of talking about Fantastic Four. Now, Matt Shackman is the same one that gave us WandaVision, and he's giving us some insight on this universe that the Fantastic Four are in. He says here he's looking to invoke the optimistic spirit of the 50s and 60s. This is very much about the spirit of the space race. It's about JFK and optimism. It's imagining these four going into space instead of Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin. This idea that is that they are the most famous people in America because they're adventurers, explorers, astronauts, not because they're superheroes, and they come back and they're superheroes on top of it. But primarily, they're astronauts, they're family. Okay. Goes on to say here that we have our own universe, which is wonderful and liberating. There's really no other superheroes. There's no Easter eggs. There's no running into Iron Man or whatever. They are it in this universe. I love the interconnected Marvel universe, but we get to do something so new and so different. Eventually, this world will meet up with other worlds, but for now, this is our own little corner. Well, I guess that just spoiled Fantastic Four. Well, I guess it's not really a spoiler. I mean, like, Secret Wars, multiverse, it's all coming together. Whatever. I'm still, like, when I tell you I'm so medium excited for, I don't even want to use the word excited. I'm curious about Fantastic Four, and I have a very, very just small amount of curiosity for Thunderbolts. Like, it's just, these are not properties that I'm going to be like, oh man, like Deadpool and Wolverine. I was excited for that. I was like, yeah, let's do that. These movies, we'll see. And then here we go. Halle Berry, oh yeah, says that she is not returning as Storm in Avengers Doomsday. She said, keep waiting. It's not going to be there. And by the way, I want to correct this because too often this happens, especially with Black media. This did not come from the AP. Shame on them for taking this, because this news came from Black girl nerds. Okay. Y'all were, and you could see the video. I retweeted them. I retweeted Black girl nerds, but they were on the red carpet. They were the ones speaking to Halle Berry. She gave the quote to them. And then you saw the AP and you saw some other big outlets run out and basically take what they heard and not credit these sisters for what they did. Don't do that. Stop doing that. It's hard enough for smaller outlets to get a scoop, to get an exclusive, for y'all to sit here and steal that and at least not give them the credit. That's not okay. Anyway, Halle says she ain't coming back. And here's the thing. I believe her. Because if I'm not mistaken, this was the same thing that happened on I think it was Doctor Strange 2. And we were all sitting here like, oh, Halle gonna come back. We got Professor X back, so Halle got to come back. And she was like, no, I'm not in it. And she wasn't. She said she wasn't in it. She's not in it. I do not believe that she is pulling an Andrew Garfield here, because I just don't think Halle plays like that. I think Halle would be like, I don't know, we'll see, if she was in it. But if she's like, no, I ain't in it, she might not be in it. And you know what? I'm okay with that. I'm okay with it because of what we're about to talk about right now. which is Kevin Feige. Kevin Feige says that Avengers Doomsday will focus on the Avengers, Wakandans, Fantastic Four, Thunderbolts, and the original X-Men all fighting Doctor Doom. Y'all just gave away the movie to me. Because what you just did, Mr. Kevin Feige, is tell me everybody that's about to die. The original OG Avengers, y'all about to die. Hawkeye, bye-bye. War Machine, so long. That's a wrap. Y'all finna die. Y'all contracts are up. Y'all got replacements already. Y'all getting old. Y'all out of here. Maybe Chris Hemsworth might survive. That might be about it. And then Hulk, he might survive. The rest of y'all gone. Sam, maybe Sam will live. But the Avengers, y'all finna die. Wakandans, we already know what y'all use Wakandans for. Y'all like the MCU likes to colonize Wakanda. Y'all make Wakanda share all its resources. Y'all make Wakanda make suits for other people. Y'all make Wakanda the battle site for a whole, global event. Like, y'all finna just kill these Wakandans. That's all it is. Y'all are about to kill these Wakandans. Shuri, good luck. I don't know. Now, here's the thing. This could be consistent with the comics because Doom does destroy and kill a lot of Wakandans. In the comics, this is why T'Challa has that forever beef with Doom. So maybe this is where they get that tension. Maybe. Fantastic Four, every single one of y'all gonna be fine. Every single one of y'all. Nothing gonna happen to them. Y'all don't have the guts to bring out the Fantastic Four and to not keep them around. I know Reed Richards definitely gonna live. I know that. Thunderbolts. Most of y'all are expendable too. I'm assuming Ghost definitely gonna die. Red Guardian gonna die too. I think he gonna die. And the original X-Men. Now keep in mind, who do we see? We saw Nightcrawler. We saw Cyclops coming back. Beast. Professor X. What a shame if y'all bring them back just to die. What a shame that you will come back. You'll bring Cyclops back after you prematurely killed him off in The Last Stand just to kill him off again. And here's the thing, like, this is almost like Infinity War and Endgame. Infinity War, Thanos was going to win. Thanos was going to win. The good guys are going to lose. Okay? They was going to lose. Doomsday, everybody going to lose. So, when I sit here and say, I'm okay with Halle Berry not showing up, if all y'all was going to do was bring Halle Berry back as Storm and be like, hey, y'all, nostalgia, look at this, and y'all was going to kill them off with Doom, y'all can save that. Protect Halle. I'm okay with that. Nah, she don't have to be that just to bring her on, just to kill her off later. Nah, y'all go do that with them other expendable characters. Do that somewhere else. Anyway, well, that sucks. People gonna be like, yay, the X-Men are back. Doom gonna be like, doof, done. Like, I don't think people understand how Doom is a problem. Doom is a walking problem. So, okay, we'll see. But anyway, guys, that is it for the MCU updates. What did you guys think? about the Fantastic Four, about what's happening in Avengers Doomsday, Halle not coming back. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. JM, for the comic book heads, Doom War. Yeah, Doom War. Yeah, like that. This is what they could borrow from. They could borrow from that. We'll just have to wait and see how far they go with it. All right, guys, that is all I have for tonight. I want to thank each and every one of y'all for coming through. I appreciate y'all so much. Oh, please stay tuned. Please stay tuned. If you haven't already, by the way, I dropped my out of theater reaction for Sinners. If you haven't seen it, please make sure you go check that out. I absolutely will be reviewing that coming up soon for you guys. I'll probably do it during a live or something whenever the embargo lifts. As for a watch party, I'm really starting to think we might do one for Sinners. That could be a thing. Now I will say this: if we do the watch party, it will be adults only. Sinners is rated R. It's adults doing some adulting in there. And I personally will just not feel comfortable if children are there. I'm not judging your parenting style. I'm just saying, as the host, I don't really feel comfortable having kids around. So this will be an adults only event. Right now, what I'm trying to decide, and actually maybe y'all can help me with this now. Usually I will charge, because theaters raise their prices, $10 per person. You come in, you get your free popcorn, you enjoy the movie, or $20 per person, and you get you still get the popcorn, but you also get a $5 gift card as well. And you can spend the $5 however you want. So I'm trying to figure out which one is doable. I'm thinking maybe we do it on a Friday night. Maybe that's a little easier for the adults. So that's what I'm thinking right now, but I'm trying to get a sense of, like, are y'all cool paying just $10, or do you want that $5 gift card and you pay $20, get your popcorn, all of that, for this private viewing? But anyway, so watch party might be happening. Might have some specials coming, some interesting stuff on the channel might be coming. Daredevil on Wednesday. Don't forget about that. We got episode 8 to cover. And I think that's it. Okay, not yet. But anyway, all right. I think I covered everything. Wait, what else do we have? King Chad, what you got? Hi, man. I finished the Russo brothers project for Black Panther. I'll email it soon, and maybe you'll like it also. Oh, well, that is awesome, King Chad. That is fantastic. I hope that I hope you send it to the Russo brothers, and I hope that they like it. I really do. Thank you so much for sharing that. But all right, guys, that's all I got for today. Thank you so much. I will see you guys on the next round of lives. And of course, the routine. Wash your hands, wash your butts, and everything in between. And until next time, see you guys later. Peace.